here in Collinsville, Alabama, with a very familiar face, and everyone from Collinsville, and actually a big area outside of Collinsville knows who this gentleman is. We actually posted about him earlier this week, and he's been on our show before, and fortunate enough for us, he's back in town. He's a rock star now, so he took the time out of his day to come on with us. But I'm going to let this gentleman introduce himself at this time.
What's up? I'm Zeb Jones. I'm with the Top Gun All-Stars TGLC, world champion, Triple Crown champion, and 7-time world champion, actually. So I'm super excited to be here.
Zeb, last time we talked to you, you were just about to start your journey with Top Gun. But before we move into that and get caught up, for those who didn't get to see your first video, talk about your childhood, raising up here in Collinsville, and then we're going to lead that into you going to Top Gun.
Okay, well, from a small town, Collinsville, Alabama. Big family, the Joneses, and I have a brother, older brother, Caleb Jones. Y'all probably know him, and then a little sister, Naomi. I have been a cheerleader for about 12 years now, and I did school cheer here at Collinsville, played basketball, a bunch of other different things, but this sport has just always impacted my life most, and I stuck with it for a long time. So
I've actually had, I don't know if I was in Mountain Brook or Vestavia, but I remember a cheerleading squad come up to me and it was like, "You're Average Joe's?" I was like, "Yeah." She didn't know me from Average Joe's. She knew Average Joe's from your interview.
Oh, really?
She's like, I don't know if it was one of the teams in Burns, Vestavia or
yeah, they have good cheer teams up there. Yeah,
and they was like, "Man, we watched his video." So usually it's like, "I know that guy's Bo from Average Joe's." No, they were like, "I know you guys from Zeb's interview," which I thought that was really cool. I had to share that with you. All right, so last time we were with you, you were about to start your journey at Top Gun, and it hasn't been as smooth as all these medals and everything on this table looks like. You've had some major adversity hit right in the middle of this thing, but even before that, COVID kind of took its toll on you. Take us back to when you arrived at Top Gun and how that's all transpired.
Yeah, so last time we talked, I was moving to Miami to cheer at Top Gun, and COVID and a bunch of other personal things and things like that had happened to where I had to move back home, and I did, and then I went back with the Ace Cheer Company and ended up tearing my ACL and meniscus and having surgery. So I really didn't even get to cheer last year, so I was out.
You had a complete tear.
Complete tear, yeah.
So not like okay.
Yeah, it was like
just
total,
so people know that this is okay.
Yeah, total ACL repair, had surgery and everything. Went to rehab for about 5 months and wanted to go back to Top Gun to finish out the season that I never got to have. And like I said before, it's always been a dream of mine. So after ACL recovery, I moved back to Top Gun, and that's how I got all of this.
Now, I want to rewind the clock. When you tore your ACL, and I think I heard this from your grandfather, it was actually on the last. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. Like it was the last event, last tumble, correct?
Yes. In the routine, I was doing my last tumble pass, and I had landed wrong, and I just heard a loud pop. I could hear over the crowd and the music. It was really loud to me because when you land, you're really close to your knees, your head is down. So it was really loud to me, and instantly, I knew I had tore my ACL. So
now, what was going through your mind there? Because I know you. Probably initial reaction, you thought, man, how did this happen to me with all this work and dedication and year upon year that you had put into this craft? What was your initial thoughts?
It was very heartbreaking because I've been a cheerleader my whole life and never have I ever had a crazy injury to where I had to be out for a year. And so instantly I knew, and that was the last thing I was doing in the routine, but I knew I didn't want them to stop the music because usually when people get hurt, they stop the routine and take you off stage. And I figured in my head this is the last time that I was probably going to be doing this because it was my senior year at that point. So I just kept going and I finished the routine.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Without a meniscus or an ACL?
Yeah. And because I just figured it was this is probably my last time. So in my head, I tried not to show it on my face and my body language that I had got hurt so I could finish, and they wouldn't stop it, and then they didn't. So after the music cut off, I collapsed to the floor and then got carried off the stage. So
man, okay, so now from that time, and you went in and had it evaluated. I'm sure you had an MRI and then surgery, and you're laying there and your knees like that. What was your thoughts then, and your demeanor?
Like I said, it was just very heartbreaking, and I feel all the hard work that I put in forever just kind of got like taken away from me. But like now I see like I like to look at the broader side of things, and obviously the broader side was me recovering and moving back to Miami and winning all of these titles that I have, and being coached by like the greatest people in the world to be coached by, and meeting so many teammates and people, and just gives me opportunities like this. So I just try to look on the bright side of all of it.
Now your rehab, when that started, I mean, you attacked that mentally. You had to be at another level because you didn't just let it come to you. You went out and took it. Talk about that rehab and how you got that knee strengthened up to be able to achieve what you have.
Yeah, rehab was definitely hard, and surgery and stuff was painful. So after that, right after surgery, I started rehab, not even a week later. It was very painful at first, mentally and physically, but like it's just one of those things that you have to push through to get to where I am now. And I did rehab for only 4 or 5 months, which usually it takes up to a year to recover, but I was determined to get back to Miami and be on TGLC again, and I did. So,
man. So
turned my recovery from a year to about 5 months.
5 months. We're not talking walking either. I mean, we're talking
like tumbling, everything. Yeah, stunning.
What were you doing different than most people? I mean, it had to be something. You found something that was working.
Well, my physical therapist already told me it was kind of good that I was already flexible, because your knee gets really stiff.
Sense.
So it was kind of a good thing that I was already flexible, and my leg was already kind of strong from before tearing my ACL. But he told me if I worked hard and did the things that they asked, I worked out outside of physical therapy. Like I would go to therapy, come home, and then work out more because I wanted to get back as fast as I could.
You actually lifting or calisthenics or what?
Just like normal PT stuff
Gotcha.
at first, and then started moving up, progressing into lifting and things like that. So.
All right. So now let's fast forward to get the knee rehab to a point where you can start training again. Was there something in your mind, or a day, or something happened to you where you were like, okay, I think I'm ready to get back? When was that?
Yeah, it was around, I would say, the 4-month mark. I was at physical therapy, and he had told me.
This Captain America over here?
He told me I was cleared to start running. And so
you was running from a complete tear at 4 months.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So he told me I was clear to start running. So I started running, and I didn't feel any pain really or anything like that. And then I started jumping, like box jumping, things like that.
Flips?
Yeah. Then
at 4 months?
Yeah, I did a back handspring, which is not anything crazy, but from not tumbling forever, a long time.
You saying that to a 250-pound guy here. That's something very major. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I got a brace from my surgeon and put that on, and that just kind of gave me more it made me feel better having that on my knee. Just
confidence.
Yeah, it gave me more confidence, because without it, I was very big on using it at first, when after the injury, just because I was cautious about everything. I was cautious about walking. And then it's just all of it was just a huge mindset to overcome. So
Gotcha. All right. So now I want you to walk us through each one of these, what we're looking at here. 3-time national champs we're looking at right here, and the worlds. Yes. But Top Gun, as of my knowledge, has never completed all 4 of them in the same season, correct?
I think they did 2014, which was the last time.
So they did one other time.
Yes.
All right. So take us back to the first one that you won out of the 4 events here. And what was going through your head when you were like, okay, I had this horrific thing happen. Mm-hmm. I've rehabbed like a psychopath superhero. I'm about to compete. Were you nervous? What was going through your head? Actually,
this competition is the one, cheer sport is the one I tore my ACL at.
Oh, okay.
And so this was the competition that started the
I got you.
national title or whatever. So I was a little nervous for this competition just because I had PTSD kind of from the past year. But we competed and we hit both days. These are hit 0 pins, and hit 0 means that you had no deductions or mess ups in your routine, and we did that both days. So I'm gonna let them pass. But we ended up hitting 0 both days, and we go against the other top competitors in the world that we go against. They're amazing too. So it's a big honor to compete against them. So that was the first title we won. And then, can you still see me? Back it up.
Let me see if I'm paying this up. Okay, go ahead.
And then this one, it's called NCA. And then we also got another gold medal, another big competition against all of our really big competitors and things like that. So that was the second one. And these were about a week apart. So we went to cheer sport then, NCA. Then this one's UCA Nationals. This one was also held at ESPN. We hit 0 there, won.
No deductions.
No deductions, yep. And then when you win all 3 of these competitions in a row, it's called a thing like Triple Crown. So you Triple Crown, and it's like a huge deal in the cheer world. So winning all 3 of these and then going to Worlds and winning a World Championship title is like a huge deal.
Oh, so, very huge.
So yeah, that's all of those.
That's amazing. So now, as you were going through these, was the pressure mounting?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And for the team, not just yourself, but the team, what was that like? Because I mean, each event, each time you guys went out, had to be more pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the team I was on like this past year, we were such a strong, good team, and like we were coached by people who train us to like when things go wrong, like we know how to recover and things like that. So not every single one of these competitions were perfect, but good thing they're like day 2 competitions. So if you mess up one day, you have the next day to recover it and win the whole thing. So just like any other human or team, like we're never perfect. And then so we just went out and we're confident in the way we were coached and our skills and things like that, and always came back and won. So
that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
What was your message? What was your message from your coaches during this time frame as that tightened up and you were like, okay, we got a chance to do something very special here?
Yeah, they're very big on like communication with us, and they're very good with their words and keeping us calm. And like cheerleading there is just so much more than a sport. It, like they become like your second parents and like your family, and they really know how to like keep you calm and collected and like just trust in yourself, because they trust in us a lot, or they put us on the team for a reason, and like they just believe in us. So they're always giving us pep talks and things like that before we go on stage. So
now when you guys completed it and you won the Worlds, talk about the feeling you had when it was announced you guys were world champions at that point. What was going through your head then, and your teammates, obviously?
Yeah, well, we competed, and we were already crying on the floor, like, while we were competing, because we knew, like, we just had a great routine, and, like, we were determined to win Worlds, because it's basically the equivalent to football players winning the Super Bowl or the Olympics and things like that. So the team was really excited, a lot of tears, because that's sometimes the last time we see a bunch of them and things like that. But our coaches were super proud of us and excited for us. They cried a lot too. Everyone just cried.
Oh, I would have too.
Yeah, so it was just a huge deal and something that I've always wanted to win ever since I was a little boy, ever since I started cheer. So to have like one of these medals around my neck is like, it's amazing.
Was it everything you thought it would be, or was it different, or what was it like?
I would say it was everything I thought it would be, but it was different because I actually experienced it, and just because before I just watched people win it, and I was like, wow, I want that to be me. And then so I don't know, it's just a lot of different emotions, but all good ones.
I know you can't talk about the future, I was told before we started this.
Yeah, not really sure what I have, or I know what I have planned, but I just can't really talk about it right now. So it's kind of a surprise.
Hey, whatever this guy's gonna do, I'm sure it's gonna be pretty amazing. But before I got a few more questions before we shut this down. How much has your life changed, just from the aspect of growing up here, living in Collinsville, knowing like you could probably go to the store right now, you're going to know everybody, they're going to speak with you, to a place like Miami? I know it's just a different world. My wife worked in Boca the last year and a half. It's just a different world. How much has your life changed in general?
It's changed a lot. Living in Miami, Florida, and then a big city, and then coming from somewhere so small like this, it's definitely different. And opened my eyes to a lot of things, and it helped me learn a lot of things. I love Miami and I love it here. Both are great places to live at. But yeah, like you said, I could walk to the store here, drive 1 minute to the store, but there's so much traffic and things like that.
Yeah, it's different.
So it's really different, but they're both good places.
So now, here's another question. I got just a few more and we'll shut it down. So what would you say to that boy or girl maybe in there watching the TV, seeing you win like you were people before you,
Mhm.
what would you say to them if you had some true words of inspiration or something you could say to help them kind of steer them in the right direction?
I'll just go based off what I've heard and what I've been told. Cheer is a hard sport and it's really tough, like mentally and physically. And there'd be times that you want to quit, times that you don't want to do it. But if you do keep doing it, you can get a bunch of things like these, which I'm glad I never did quit, and never give up. And yeah, just follow your dreams, because that's what I did, and see what happens.
Well, Zeb, I appreciate you, man, and coming on with this again. And I know whatever it is in the future you got planned, it's going to be something great. So good luck to you. Congratulations on all of this. This is all truly amazing. I appreciate you.
Thank you.